Well, lastly, we're going to talk about the how to take action section. Now, this is the most important part of the lesson. And you see there's 3 questions down here that we talk about. These questions are: what do I want to be remembered for? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? And do I have a destiny to fulfill? Well, we just ask them quite basically, hey, which one of these questions jumps out to you, and why? And then I'll be silent, and I'll just let them talk. And we'll see, why does that jump out to you? Why does what do I want to be remembered for jump out to you? And now we're starting again to talk about what's their legacy going to be. You know, and we're getting them slowly acclimated to this whole process of thinking, hey, I want to leave a legacy. But it's a neat way to do it early on. Lastly, we've got a section here that deals with, if you don't like what's in your box right now, you can change it. God's given us the power to choose. That's the neat thing, and we talk about that. So what we're going to talk about is, if you don't like, if Jesus isn't in your box, hey, you can put him in there. And again, we're not talking about putting God in a box. Sometimes people get, oh, you got to be open-minded. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what we did earlier in the lesson. What is the number one central motivating factor in your life? Jesus can be that. But you also need to remember this: you can't have 2 things in your box. Just like Jesus said, you cannot serve 2 masters. If they have 2 things in their box, even if they're good things, they're going to vacillate between the 2 of those their whole life, and they're not going to have peace or joy. And we don't want that. We want people to have peace. So, lastly, we also have a prayer in here that if they do want to have Jesus in their box, and they do want to have Jesus the number one motivating factor in life, all they have to do is say this prayer, but then more importantly, they need to commit to having Jesus Christ as the Lord of their life. This is a great lesson for people that aren't believers yet, and or it's also a great lesson for people that are believers that want to recommit at this time. And then finally, their memory verse again is Matthew 6:33, but seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Again, what we want them to understand is, seek God first, and all the other things will be added to them. And again, that doesn't mean cars, boats, money, houses. All right, what that means is all the good things God wants for your life to develop your character in your life and the peace that you need, and all those other things will fall into place. But again, the purpose of this lesson is to help them take an inventory and to help you help them put in their box what they want to have in their box, so that their life can have a calm and the peace and the joy that they're looking for. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.